Hello everybody, my name is RetroBoy03, and welcome to today's video where I will be ranking from best to worst all of the sets released for Solo, a Star Wars story. Before we begin, I just want to mention that this list will not be including brickheads, construction figures, or polybags, as with the first two, I think it's just, kind of odd to compare them, seeing as how they're really not meant to be compared to system sets, as they're pretty much completely different. And with polybags, I just think it's sort of unfair, because obviously it's just a little mini-model. You can't exactly compare that to the real deal. However, I will be including on this list the two non-Solo sets that released with the wave, those being Yoda's Hut and the Jedi and Clone Troopers Battle Pack. So, obviously, if you don't want them to be on this list, then just remove them from the listing and just have the 5 Solo sets ranked. But anyway, without further ado, we'll just be starting off here with number 7, Moloch's Landspeeder. And while this set certainly isn't bad, in my opinion, none of the Solo sets are actually bad. I feel as though this one is definitely rather boring. It has the gray color scheme, so it doesn't look vibrant like some of the other sets, but it also has the tan, which keeps it from having the very sterile and clean look of the Imperial ships. I mean, I get the idea that this is just supposed to be a gray craft that's just very weathered, but and I mean, it does look pretty good. I like the shaping. It just doesn't look too interesting. The figures, I also don't like that much. Like, maybe Moloch and Rebolt will be good characters in the movie, but seeing as how I'm just judging the sets off of what they are, since the movie isn't out yet, I'm not a huge fan of either of those figures. And we do also get 2 Corellian Hounds, which are cool, but we also get one in the Han Solo's Landspeeder, and so I feel so if you wanted a Corellian Hound, just get that set instead of this one. Play features include the 6-stud shooter, which I think is a fine play feature, and I do feel as though if you remove the studs and just display it without, I feel as though the 6-stud shooter does actually work really well for some engine detail, just without the studs in it. Then in the back you have a little opening hatch to pull out the little cart that you can see towards the bottom center of the image with the 2 bones in the bucket. And then you also have, on the side, you have a little cage to fit in your 2 Corellian Hounds. And then the roll cage for the vehicle can fit 1 figure, that being Moloch, so there is no place to put Rebolt. So that's kind of an issue, but yeah. Overall, I think it's a fine set, but for $40, you can do better, in my opinion. At number 6, this is going to be an unpopular opinion, we have the Kessel Run Millennium Falcon. A set that I'm not putting at number 6 because it's bad, but simply because it annoys me with how lazy it is. Because I've never really liked the whole, pie slice design that LEGO's been using for the Millennium Falcon all these years, but I always thought it was fine, and with each iteration they have improved on it slightly, so it did look better. Like, there's a distinct evolution from 2004 to 2011 to 2015 with the Falcon. But this seems like a step back, because not only are the gaps more noticeable, because the vehicle has a fully white color scheme, which makes the gaps stand out more than against the gray Falcon, but also, some of the gaps are actually bigger now. Like, around the gunnery turret, and with the very back slice, the gaps there are much bigger than on the previous version. So that's not that great. And also, this Falcon is obviously the new white design, which personally I don't like as much, but there are also a few problems with that. Like how even though the whole Falcon is white, the underside is still gray, because LEGO felt like being lazy. Then you also, the front section, the part in between the pie slices, not the pie slices, you know, the pincers, the thing that fills in the pincers, that's an escape vehicle, which, I mean, is fine, but when you remove it, it doesn't really look good, so honestly I would recommend keeping that in, because the pincers just don't look good without it. The cockpit can still only fit 2 minifigures, although there is a coffee maker in there now, so that's good. The interior is mediocre. It's not... Honestly, I think it might be the worst Falcon interior, because while you can fit more figures around the Dejarik table, and you also have the nice bed for the first time, which is a nice assembly, but overall I feel as though the interior just doesn't look as good. But the figures are probably the main reason people are going to get this set, because they're all exclusive. You get Han Solo in what seems like it's going to be his main outfit from the movie. You get Chewbacca, who's currently exclusive to this set, although I'm guessing he'll appear in one of the summer sets. Then we have Lando, who I really hope comes in one of the summer sets, because I really want his hairpiece. Then we have Qi'ra, who has a different variant than in the Han Solo's Landspeeder. Here she has the outfit that also seems like it's going to be her main outfit, and she interestingly has a new color for a Friend's hairpiece, which is rubber. Then we have the Kessel Operations droid, which is a nice new twist on a protocol droid. We have DDBD, which is possibly the greatest LEGO droid ever built. It's an astromech with skeleton legs. It's beautiful. And then we also have Quay Tolsit. It's probably not pronounced. But, yeah, he's kind of interesting. But, yeah, overall, I feel as though the minifigs are great. But besides that, there's not much reason to get this set. At number 5 here, we have the Jedi and Clone Troopers Battle Pack. Obviously based off of Attack of the Clones or the Clone Wars TV show. Not entirely sure which, because obviously now LEGO stopped doing the weird anime eyes on the Clone Wars figures, so it's pretty impossible to tell, but obviously this is a battle pack, so the main thing here is the figures. And the build doesn't look that great, so it's clear that the figures are what LEGO wants you to see here, and they're fine. I mean, we get 2 Phase 1 Clone Troopers, which are nice to see again. Now featuring leg printing, which is cool. We have a new Ki-Adi-Mundi, who I'm probably going to get the set just for, because he looks pretty cool, and I've always, for some reason, like, I don't personally like the figure that much, but if you add LEGO Star Wars, the original, or the complete saga, you probably have fond memories of Ki-Adi-Mundi in that game, and his weird head. We'll put it at that. It was beautiful. Then we also have Barriss Offee, who was actually one of the first figures to feature the new skirt piece. I forgot to mention that both Moloch and Quay Tolsit had it as well, the new sort of skirt dress piece. Except here, I feel it's more useful because it's just black with no printing. So it's cool to get that, and cool figures, but overall not a very exciting build. Number 4 on my list is Yoda's hut from The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, specifically based off of The Empire Strikes Back with the figures. And starting with the figures, I feel as though they're also the main draw to this set. You get a new Dagobah Luke, who we haven't gotten literally since 2004, so it's been forever. And this guy's pretty nice. I like the face print. I like that we're finally getting the Luke Skywalker hairpiece in dark tan. I also like the leg printing, but I feel as though the torso maybe should have been put on a different color than just light tan, because it makes the whole figure seem a little bland. I feel as though I preferred the original from 2004, which actually used a sand green torso. I think that was pretty cool looking. Then we have Yoda, who has a new torso print, which is pretty nice, definitely accurate to The Empire Strikes Back. LEGO's still using the Attack of the Clones molded head, which I think is fine. I mean, I would love it if LEGO were to introduce a new head for Puppet Yoda, you know, to have the difference between Puppet Yoda and CG Yoda, but, like, I feel as though this is still fine. It still looks like Yoda. I just kind of wish it could have looked more like Yoda. And then R2's pretty cool. He has mud printed on him, so that's new. I've never seen an astromech droid covered in mud before, so that's pretty interesting. But yeah, the build itself isn't that great. I mean, it looks fine from the front, although I wish that maybe they brought more brown into it. I don't know, but yeah, my big problem is that it's completely hollow on the back, which isn't the biggest problem ever. The big problem is that you can see the sort of terrain pieces off to the sides, with like the floating box on one side. Those are designed to be able to fold into the back, and then you just have a bunch of grass behind Yoda's hut without having the back of Yoda's hut, which is just really weird to me. But yeah, I mean, there are a few play features in this set which are nice, and I am probably going to get this one for the figures, but yeah, overall, this is still a pretty nice set, but it could definitely be better. Number 3 on my list is the Imperial TIE Fighter, a set that I feel is pretty awesome. However, the reason it's at number 3 isn't because of a problem with the set, it's the price. Because like every TIE Fighter LEGO's releasing now, it's horribly overpriced. This is like 500 pieces for $70. Because the last 2 times LEGO gave us 500-piece TIE Fighters for $70, they were best sellers. Cough, cough. And then there was the Last Jedi one, which was $80, and there's a rumor that this year LEGO's making a TIE Interceptor for $90. So that'll be fun. But yeah, I feel so this set, though, is pretty nice. It's pretty similar to the 2012 TIE Fighter and the 2015 Force Awakens TIE Fighter, but I feel as though this one does do some things differently, some things better than those ones. There's some definite improvements. I kind of wish that LEGO would start dual molding the spring shooters or something, because obviously TIE Fighters shoot green lasers, but since the turrets have the red tips, LEGO just gives them red shooters, but I want to shoot green shooters from my TIE Fighter. I want to just have the red pieces be just decoration like they always were and hide the spring shooters somewhere else. I don't know, I just don't like firing red bolts from a TIE Fighter. It seems wrong. But yeah, I feel so the figures in this set might be the best part of it, though, because the build is great, and I know a lot of people are going to buy it for the build, and if I get this set, I'm getting it for the build. But the figures are also pretty great. We get Han Solo in an Imperial outfit. The movie isn't out yet, so I don't know if like he starts off working for the Empire like he did in Legends, or if this is just a disguise, but it looks pretty cool either way. He has a nicely printed cape. Then we get, what's his name? The guy with the 2 silver pistols? I don't remember his name, sorry, but he's pretty cool. I like his face print. We get an Imperial TIE pilot, of course, who's always nice to see. And we get the Mud Trooper, which also has that nice printed cape, a new helmet mold. And yeah, overall, some pretty great figures, pretty great build, just not a pretty great price. Number 2 on my list is the Imperial Patrol Battle Pack. And I'll just be honest here, this is probably one of the best battle packs I've ever seen from LEGO. First off, the build is just really great. It's going to be in the movie, and it's a really interesting looking speeder. I actually really like the look of it. It's very, very geometric, and I just think it looks really nice. But the figures are also great. You get 2 of the new Imperial Patrol Troopers, which are really nice looking figures. Definitely my favorite version of the Stormtroopers that Disney has introduced so far, and they've introduced a lot of Stormtroopers, cough cough, action figures, cough cough. But yeah, and then we also get 2 other figures, which are supposed to be like a patrol officer and like a detention officer, or whatever they're called. I don't remember what they're called, but I like them because I don't see them as that. I see them as being an Imperial officer and a Death Star trooper, or just Imperial trooper, whatever you want to call them. And those are pretty cool. Great to see those in a cheap set, because, like, not so much the Death Star trooper, but you want a lot of Imperial officers, because the movies had a lot of Imperial officers. So it's great to see them in a battle pack, and to be honest, like, I think the black-suited figure, the Death Star Trooper I keep calling her, I think that she is actually a specific character in the movie, I'm guessing. Since it's kind of odd for LEGO to introduce a new face print for a random figure in a battle pack. So, I don't know, I'm guessing that that's an actual character, but, like, I almost wish that maybe they'd put her in maybe, like, the TIE Fighter or another set, and then this battle pack could have had, like, two patrol troopers and two Imperial officers. I just want a lot of Imperial officers, okay? But enough about that. Let's get on to number 1 on my list. Han Solo's Landspeeder. Yeah, I bet you weren't expecting the $30 set to be my favorite of the lot, but I do have my reasons here, starting with the minifigures. We have the new Han Solo, who's really great. I actually kind of prefer the design here than the main design that comes in the Millennium Falcon. I don't know, I really like this outfit. And the face print will be great, because, well, it's obviously designed to look like the new actor that plays Han in the Solo movie. To me, it honestly looks a bit more like a young Harrison Ford than it does that actor, so that's actually pretty cool. And I could see, and I feel as though, like, on the alternate face, you could probably use that, the alternate, like, angry expression, that could honestly probably be used just for normal Han Solo, which is pretty cool. Also, it'll be great because I'll finally be getting the new Han hairpiece. I haven't picked it up yet, so this'll be when I do. Then you have Qi'ra, who's pretty great because she has another great face print that I really like, pretty useful face. Then you also have her hairpiece, which is a new mold and really great to see. I like that hairstyle. The legs are pretty similar to Han's. They might even be the same, and they look fine, but what I really like about Qi'ra is the torso, because you have this nice silvery jacket over a red shirt, and that's really useful. Pretty much, with the exception of the legs, and heck, you could probably even find a use for the legs and other stuff, but really, the Qi'ra minifigure isn't really confined to a Han Solo set. I could totally see LEGO using pretty much all of those parts in other themes, which is honestly pretty cool. Like, I'm not a fan of part reuse, but, like, if you get this set, you, like, as a consumer, could then use the parts from that minifigure for other things, which is pretty neat. Then you also get one of those Corellian hounds, so yeah, but, and then the speeder itself is, first off, it just looks so good. Like, this is just such a nice-looking vehicle. But then, there are also some nice play features with it, like you can lift up the hood to perform maintenance, you have some spring shooters, in the back you have a hidden compartment, like, it's just pretty fun as a set. So yeah, that's my favorite set of the Solo line, and that is my ranking of all 7 sets released in this wave. And again, just obviously, if you don't include the 2 non-Solo sets and you just wanted to hear my ranking of the 5 main sets, obviously that would be number 5, Mollux Landspeeder, number 4, the Kessel Run Millennium Falcon, number 3, the Imperial TIE Fighter, number 2, the Imperial Patrol Battle Pack, and number 1, Han Solo's Landspeeder. Again, obviously, this video did not include BrickHeads or Construction figures, because you can't really compare those to system sets since they're so different, so I didn't even try. Maybe at some point I'll do a separate video, like ranking all of the Star Wars Construction figures and all of the Star Wars BrickHeads, but that's a video for another day. So, thank you all so much for watching this video, and I will see all of you in my next one. Bye-bye!